Many believe that the spear that lanced the side of Jesus still exists and that many people over the ages, including the Knights Templar, have possessed it.
Do you know about the Spear of Destiny?
One of the most fascinating relics in Christian legend is the Holy Lance, sometimes referred to as the Lance of Longinus or the Spear of Destiny. A Roman soldier's spear penetrated Jesus' side during the Crucifixion, according to the Gospel of John, guaranteeing his execution. According to legend, this soldier, known by his original name, Longinus, became blind and was healed of his blindness when water and blood from Jesus' side dropped over him. John 13:33-34 says, "But when they came to Jesus and saw that he was already dead, they did not break his legs. But one of the soldiers pierced his side with a spear, and at once there came out blood and water."
Tell them about the Spear of Destiny, the Golden Goose, the Lost Ark. Enjoy your stay in the psych ward.
The Holy Lance's historical voyage is shrouded in myth and mystery. A complex tapestry of theological and historical narratives has been woven by the numerous claims made regarding the legitimacy of several spears that have been identified as the actual Holy Lance across different cultures and locales. In the 6th century, Jerusalem was the site of the earliest known claim to the Holy Lance. However, the lance made its most notable historical appearance in 1098 during the First Crusade, when a monk by the name of Peter Bartholomew claimed that he had found the relic in Antioch after receiving a vision from St. Andrew. This discovery significantly increased the Crusader forces' morale. Despite this, doubts regarding the lance's genuineness grew. They reached a breaking point when Peter Bartholomew died from his wounds after putting the lance story through a trial by fire to validate his discovery. The lance made another noteworthy appearance in Constantinople, where the Byzantine emperors are said to have handled it. One of the artifacts taken from the city during the Fourth Crusade in 1204 was this relic. Eventually, it traveled to Europe, where it was kept in Vienna's imperial treasury and turned into a representation of heavenly authority and might. Up until the 19th century, when the Holy Roman Empire fell, the lance was utilized during the coronations of its rulers.
They brought the treasure back to Europe and took the name, the Knights Templar.
The poor fellow soldiers of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon, also known as the Knights Templar, were a Catholic military order that was established in 1119 and received papal recognition in 1139. The rule was first put in place to safeguard Christian pilgrims going to the Holy Land. They were heavily involved in the politics of the Christian governments in the Near East and the Crusades, growing over time to become one of the most powerful and affluent military orders of the Middle Ages. The First Crusade events provide the closest direct link between the Knights Templar and the Holy Lance. Many of the customs and myths surrounding the Crusades served as the basis for the Templars' mystique and ethos, despite the fact that they were not formally founded until after the First Crusade. A turning point in the Crusade occurred when Peter Bartholomew discovered the Holy Lance in Antioch in 1098. The Crusader soldiers, particularly the knights who would eventually become the Templar Order, saw a major increase in morale as a result of this lance if they gained possession of it. The Holy Lance would have stood for providential support and divine favor for the Templars, who were firmly rooted in the doctrine and protection of the Christian Holy Land. As a relic from the Crucifixion, the lance bore great religious significance, strengthening the spiritual basis for their military and defensive actions. The Templars may have been very interested in any genuine relics of the Crucifixion, even if there is no conclusive historical evidence to support their claim that they were the keepers of the Holy Lance given their responsibility for other Christian riches and relics. They would have been major players in any debates about the preservation of such antiquities because of their base on the Temple Mount and their extensive network of fortified sites throughout the Holy Land. Legends of the Templars' buried riches, which may have included the Holy Lance, started to spread after the order was dissolved. These stories frequently associate the Templars with other occult or secretive groups, raising the possibility that they concealed the lance as part of a prophecy or to keep it out of the wrong hands.
We're going to build the doomsday machine and conquer the world.
It's commonly believed that possessing the Holy Lance gives one the ability to conquer the entire planet. It is said that historical personalities like Adolf Hitler, Frederick Barbarossa, and Charlemagne coveted the lance for its purportedly supernatural abilities. Apart from the Vienna lance, there are other purported lances in Rome, kept in St. Peter's Basilica, Paris, and Armenia, each with its own traditions and history, making it more difficult to pinpoint a single genuine lance. The lance is said to have magical qualities or to be a crucial piece of prophecy related to the end of the world in several esoteric traditions and conspiracy theories. The Holy Lance focuses on a number of historical, religious, and culturally significant topics because of its strong origins in Christian tradition and legend. The Holy Lance is more than just a relic to Christians. It represents a material link to the Crucifixion, which is a key figure in Christian doctrine. According to some interpretations, the lance that pierced Christ's side represented the ultimate sacrifice necessary for humanity's salvation, fulfilling Old Testament prophecies like Zechariah 12:10. This gives the lance a very hallowed quality that elevates it to the status of a holy object worthy of adoration and pilgrimage. Zechariah 12:10 says, "And I will pour on the house of David and on the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and supplication. Then they will look on me whom they pierced. Yes, they will mourn for him as one mourns for his only son, and grieve for him as one grieves for a firstborn." Some academics believe that the lance in Vienna, which is on exhibit at the Weltliche Schatzkammer, secular treasury, is the lance of the Holy Roman Empire. Pope Benedict XVI recognized a different lance that is kept at the Vatican as the one that pierced Jesus' side. In Armenia, the Mother See of Holy Echmiadzin's museum houses the lance, called Geghard. The myth of the Holy Lance has influenced more than just religion and politics. It has impacted many facets of society. It is frequently portrayed as an object with immense power and mystery in literature, art, and contemporary media. For instance, Richard Wagner's opera, Parsifal, features a lance theme that is woven into a story of purity and salvation. In popular culture, the lance is frequently depicted as a magical weapon that both heroes and villains desire, appearing in books, movies, and video games. The Holy Lance has a mystical charm and is still the subject of continuous discussion, but its symbolic importance in politics, religion, and society cannot be denied. The lance is a source of interest and reverence, even in the absence of conclusive evidence supporting its validity.